Is it just me or is this one really yellow? It's like all this. It's just fucking yellow. It's like this is what I want. Ugh. A little better. Yeah. Open up the windows a little bit. Still can't think of a original intro, so well, here we go. So we're gonna jump into one of the main reasons why I started this channel, which was to try to reach out to Mabley, Jesus Christ, maybe some Magic players that are struggling with weight, struggling with prior injuries that are keeping them down, really just not knowing what to do, not really trusting anyone on YouTube or having anyone in their lives that can help them. So hopefully I can help a little bit. Since I didn't get any questions or anything like that, I figured I'd start with the basics, which is probably the most basic thing you can do, which is your nutrition. Nutrition is just as, if not more, important than your gym schedule. You can go to the gym 5 days a week, do your cardio, do your weight training, all that stuff, be as perfect as you can with all of that, but if your nutrition is off, you're not going to see any results. Like, if you go spend an hour and a half in the gym and then finish it all off with a giant sandwich from Taste of Philly or, you know, a Pizza Hut pizza or something like that, why'd you even go? You know? Not to discourage you from going. I mean, obviously, there's going to be things that, you know, you got to kind of roll with the punches with. But if you're going to put forth the effort, why not commit fully? And I don't think it's an issue of commitment with most people. I think it's a lack of knowledge, and who can blame you, you know? Most people, this isn't their job, you know? I know as much as I do about fitness and nutrition because it's my job. There's a couple things that I want to go over in this video. I want to go over literally the basics of nutrition. If I start diving into how to count your macros, how to start a meal plan, and all that stuff, that's going to be way past where most people are probably at in their fitness and nutrition journey just starting off. You don't ever want to just dive straight into an intense, very disciplined eating regimen, because then you're just going to make yourself fucking miserable and you're just going to fall off the wagon. So a big thing that I teach my clients is gradual change. So that's one thing that I'm going to go over. The other thing I'm going to go over is my personal and professional opinion on fad diets. That means keto, that means paleo, that means intermittent fasting, that means all that stuff. All right, so let's break it down Barney style, what your nutrition consists of. Your nutrition consists of two different things, macro and micronutrients. Your micronutrients are going to be your vitamins and minerals, okay? They don't have any caloric density. They don't provide you with any energy. When we're talking about energy, it's the macronutrients, the calories. And so that is going to be your protein, your fat, and your carbs, okay? So check this out, ready? I'm going to try an editing thing, okay? All right. Protein, fat, carbs. Watch. It's gonna look cool. Yeah, got this. So I will tell you that I have gone to school specifically for nutrition for 2 straight years, and I can tell you that in those 2 years, in the multiple classes, the multiple schools that I've gone to, there is no scientific evidence that cutting out one specific macro is going to do anything. So when you hear low carb, no carb type stuff, that comes from the misconception, which weight loss, the misconception of the term weight loss comes from calories in versus calories out. The less calories you take in, the more calories you then have to burn internally, okay? And the fancy word for that is a caloric deficit. And that's how we achieve weight loss. And so when you are in a well-rounded diet, which is what I recommend to all of my clients that have seen results, by the way, when you put your body into a caloric, or your intake into a caloric deficit, you take mostly from carbs because it is the most abundant thing. You do still take from protein, you do still take from fats, but in a well-rounded meal plan, carbohydrates are about 50 to 40% of your intake. And so when you have all of these macros over here in carbohydrates, of course that's going to be where you take it from. And that's where that misconception came from, was, oh, well, in all of these caloric deficits, they're taken from carbs. So if I just take away all the carbs, I'm going to lose even more weight. Okay? So one of my favorite sayings of all times was from one of my college professors. He used to always say, keep it simple, stupid. So don't overthink things. It's literally just a well-rounded balance of the 3 macronutrients. So now let's go into each specific macronutrient, okay? So let's start with carbs, since we've already talked about that one so much. So your carbohydrates. You have your complex and your simple carbohydrates. So sources of your complex carbs, which are your good carbs, are going to be oats, potatoes, starches and fibers, anything like that, brown rice, sweet potatoes. I could give you a huge list of them, okay? Now, your simple carbs, which are your bad carbs, are your processed sugars, which is like sweeteners, literally anything that is not sweet naturally and is sweet when you eat it is a simple carb, okay? Obviously your candy, your cookies, all that stuff. And if anyone wants me to go more in depth in any of that, feel free to ask, and I'd be happy to do something else on a more in-depth version of that. But for right now, this is just the bare basics, okay? So when it comes to carbohydrates, more complex carbs, more whole grain sources, less processed bullshit. Simple as that, right? Okay, moving on to your fats. You have your good fats and your bad fats, okay? Your good fats, fancy words, are going to be polyunsaturated fat and monounsaturated fat. We're going to go past that because no one gives a shit about the science talk. You see, Mom? Making it more simple. And then your bad fats are going to be your trans fats and your saturated fats, and that's usually what most companies add to, like, Tyson chicken nuggets, for example, packed with trans fats, just because that's to give them that savory taste, especially when they advertise whole white meat. Have you guys ever had your own chicken breasts, like made your own chicken breasts? Like, yeah, they're really good and juicy, like right after that first cook, but after you microwave them the second time, they taste like ass, right? They're super chalky and they're just brutal. I know, I have to eat. I literally just ate chicken breasts for my last meal. But that's because they don't naturally taste like that. They're not naturally salty. They're not naturally savory, And so that's that additive that companies use to make these meats more desirable. Okay, so they can advertise, whole white meat or 100% breast meat and stuff like that. But they're lying to you. Conspiracy. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the frickin' frogs gay. Oh, Alex Jones. The trans fats are conspiracies brought to us by aliens that's injected directly into the anus. Oh, God. It's not a conspiracy. It's just a real marketing play. And, it's worked for centuries. Centuries? Shut the fuck up, centuries. What a dumbass. It's worked for multiple decades, which is much shorter than centuries, because I'm a dumbass. But saturated fats are actually more of a natural fat, and they are kind of technically a bad fat. But saturated fats are found in your meats, so there's really no way of avoiding that. Any sort of natural source of meat, your steak, your chicken, anything, the fat that is in those is going to be saturated fat. Also, while on the topic of fats, you have good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. High density HDL and LDL. High density lipid, low density lipid. Which one is the bad one? Someone tell me. It's a test. I will, if anyone can tell me which one is the bad one, honestly, and not go on fucking Google and look it up, and we're going on the honor system. If you can tell me which one it is, I will buy you a booster pack. Okay? Of something, of a set. You know what? Fuck it. Of any set in the past 2 years. Okay? Even modern sets. Like I said, we're going on the honor system. If you can tell me which one's the good one and which one's the bad one without looking it up, I'll buy you a booster pack. And I will send it wherever you are. Okay? But so sources of these fats are going, so your good fats are going to be found in avocado. They're going to be found in coconut. And those are your polyunsaturated and your monounsaturated. Okay? Let's see, coconut, almonds, any sort of seed or nut is going to have your good fats. Salmon is going to have your omega-3s, which is another sort of fatty, another type of fatty acid. Ugh. Got indigestion. Okay. There's going to be another fatty acid. You like that? You like that? Right back to it. Like nothing even happened. I could have edited it, but I'm not going to, because this is real. This is real life. Struggle with heartburn. I got knee problems sometimes. I didn't get hugged enough. And I'm pretty sure we talked more than enough about your bad sources. Obviously your margarine, butter, and all that crap. Olive oil is going to be a good source of fats, but like your canola oil is going to be a bad source. So whenever you're thinking about cooking, just think about that type of stuff. Now going into the third one, which is going to be your protein. Protein is pretty much protein. There's no bad protein and no good protein. There is, however, essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids, okay? And that is what, or amino acids are the building blocks of protein, but you don't give a shit about that. But a little bit about that. So your non-essential amino acids are going to be what your body makes naturally. Your essential amino acids, you need it? Yeah? No? No? No one's even watching this video? Cool. Your essential amino acids are going to be what your body doesn't make naturally. Okay? So, fun fact, vegan and vegetarian diets have a very big problem with getting proper amounts of protein because there are plant-based proteins out there. I realize that, hippies, okay? But your plant-based proteins, there is no plant-based protein that has a naturally occurring essential amino acid. Okay? Now hold on. I see you writing in the comments. I already see you. Hold on. You can, however, mix two different non-animal products that have these non-essential amino acids in them that will, in the digestive system, turn into an essential amino acid. Okay? There. Shut up, hippies. Okay? Alright. So, for example, black beans and rice. They go in your stomach, and then they mix. Okay? But if we're being honest, it's just easier. Just eat the meat. We have thumbs. We're superior. So my biggest problem with all these fad diets is that they fill people with false hope. They give you this quick fix for a serious problem. And there is no such thing as a quick fix for a serious problem. Okay? It takes hard work. You're going to have to go to the gym. You're going to have to be disciplined with your food. Okay? There is no diet that says, eat pizza for 30 fucking days and lose 50 pounds. If they are telling you that, they're fucking bullshitting you. Okay? It's not true. And I'm very passionate about this stuff because I've had multiple clients come to me in tears because they've tried everything and they see that this stuff gets results for all these other people, but it just doesn't work for them. For countless diets. And that's because all of this marketing stuff is so convoluted and so just fogged up that they don't even tell you all of the facts. They just tell you the stuff that's going to make you buy their shit product. And boom, it's nighttime and I changed my shirt. Okay, so had to go to work and I'm back. So literally nothing has changed. Lighting's actually better at night. Anyway, so as I said, those things do get results. The problem is they don't ever give lasting results, and that's because they're not maintainable diets. Okay? Your body can't survive, like keto, for example, your body can't survive off of fats for very long. It can, but it becomes extremely, grossly unhealthy. You end up eating just sticks of butter all the fucking time and eating duck fat and all this other gross shit that if you didn't get all kinds of weird, women's health magazine ideas from, you probably would think that it seems really unhealthy, and that's because it kind of is. But when you put your body in a state of ketosis, your body does attack fat. But the problem is it's just like when you do your first bump of coke. It's never as good as when you first do it. So over time, your body just becomes desensitized to it. And then that's when people fall off and gain all the weight back. I would say things like keto, fasting, any of those other crash diets or fad diets, whatever you want to call them, are really good for if you have an event that's coming up and you want to shed a couple extra pounds just to kind of look a little bit better. If you're trying to have consistent and steady weight loss, then you need to change your habits. What do I mean by changing your habits? I mean small, gradual changes. Instead of drinking 3 Dr. Peppers a day, maybe start by only having 1 a day and trying to drink some fucking water for a change. Sorry. I know I'm kind of blunt with this stuff, but Jesus Christ, like, this shit is self-explanatory sometimes. Like, oh, I don't know how to lose weight, but I drink a gallon of sweet tea a day. Like, really? Someone has to explain that to you? That just... Sometimes it just doesn't make sense, and it's frustrating, and I can't say it directly to my clients, so I'm going to say it here. So some good gradual changes would be, to start with, eating consistent sized meals at consistent times in the day, and also consistent frequencies. So you eat 3 meals a day. Cool. Let's make them a little bit cleaner, let's make them a little bit more consistent, and let's eat them at consistent times. That's the first thing. I guarantee if you just do that, and you've been struggling with weight for however long, if you do that one thing, I guarantee you will start to see results. And it's because you're not even doing a diet. You're just not eating like complete shit. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for this week's episode. I know I'm a little bit late. I probably won't be able to get this out till like Friday. I'm going to start editing it now. It's Thursday night. I get paid tonight. But yeah, I'll get it out as soon as I can. I'm sorry I haven't put this video out on time like I said I would. But so we got 2 more deck techs to go, and then we're going to showcase all 4 of them, and we're gonna do a match at a card shop, hopefully. I'm not gonna say the name of the card shop yet because I haven't gotten it finalized, but we're gonna try, and it's gonna be cool. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the more deck techs. I don't know if I should be wearing this. I don't know, maybe a couple years down the road I'll get sued, which in that case, fuck you. I don't really care. But yeah. Just to reiterate, guys, if you have any questions, if you need help, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you. Okay? So, 1 more week in the books. As always, I'm Dakota. This is Pumped Up Gaming. I'll see you guys next week.